When our viewers call in and share their thoughts and views with us, it helps others watching the show as well and gives them different points to consider as well. So in today's episode, we will discuss the topic of jealousy, or also known as envy, that evil green monster that likes to spread negativity. And Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam said that envy destroys faith in the way fire destroys fuel. So, what does this mean? Jealousy weakens the root of the person's faith and turns him towards sin and disbelief. So, lots of bad things happening in different parts of the world today. Fights and other crimes are the result of envy and jealousy. And sometimes the envious person does backbiting or ghibat of the person he's jealous of, and spreads rumors and lies about him. He sometimes causes damage to the properties of the other person who he's jealous of. And this doesn't necessarily have to be between big people or adults. This is very common amongst children, and for example, in the case of siblings, a brother and sister, when one is jealous of the other, he or she might take all the toys, or break them, or not let the other person play with them, because they feel the parents favor one child more than the other. And this all is perfectly normal. Jealousy is not something uncommon or unknown. Jealousy, it's like a part of human nature, and there will hardly be anyone out there who doesn't have this instinct. Do you have any examples of jealousy between friends, between siblings, classmates? How do you feel about jealousy or envy? How does it affect relationships and people's behavior? Our Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says that there are 3 things no person is devoid of: base thoughts, bad actions, and jealousy. Therefore, this undesirable instinct is something that exists in everyone, and it must be curbed with all the force at the disposal of the person himself. It should not be allowed to flourish and grow and get worse. So if the instinct of envy is allowed to grow, since it is a part of the person's nature, it will grow at unstoppable rates. It will, reach such proportions that fighting it out will not be possible anymore. And the best time when good manners are cultivated and the bad ones are eliminated is when the childhood of a person. So the element of jealousy too will be present in a child. And the parents, with their own behavior and proper attention to the child, can definitely cure the child of jealousy that exists in his behavior now and then. And then if the parents treat all their children equally without favoring one child over the other, the problem of one envying the other doesn't arise. So the raiment, the food, and other things in the use of children should be of the same quality in mind, and standard. So they should keep in mind equality in the matter of pocket money and general treatment of the other children. So they should not compare the skills and qualities of the children in their presence, and not even like with others. So don't buy one child something and then not buy the other. Say that you already have this. You should always get them the same thing, so that way they're not jealous. And they should don't ever praise other children so much in comparison with their own. So it's not proper if the parents tell to their children, look how well he behaved, polite, and studious other neighbor's son is, and look how obedient he is, and how also he helps his mother with her work, and his parents are really lucky to have a son like him. So, such parents must understand that this type of comparison might hurt the ego of the child and have harmful and painful results. So the child, instead of mending his ways, may become aggressive and revengeful. So all children are, different, and they have their own qualities and special, characteristics. While one child might be really strong in science, the other might be very strong in reading, and the other might be strong at studies, but not very active and strong in sports. All children are different. They have their own strengths, which parents should recognize, and then they can help them improve where they lack, while continuing to strengthen and focus on their strengths at the same time. So Some children are always more proficient, better looking, and or smarter than others. So it's possible that the parents may be more attached to one child than the others. There's no harm in this attitude. This is a normal human instinct, but in talk and actions, they should not show any discrimination between the children. So they must ensure equal treatment and for all the children. So if they desire to give any special treatment to a particular child, they should do it while other children are not around. So even if the parents are taking full care to give equal treatment to all the children, the element of jealousy, which is a natural part of human nature, will still be present in the children to some extent, but big or small. But every child wishes to be the most special in the eyes of the parents, and none other should have this privilege. So when he notices the parents expressing affection to the other siblings, he will feel momentarily jealous, and the child will slowly understand that he has to share the affection of the parents with the other brothers and sisters. So the others too have a right over the parents. This is all up to the parents and how they treat all of the children and their attitude towards their children. Again, they should not compare one child with the other and should not favor one child over the other. These things, whether we realize it or not, are laying the foundation for trouble or hurt feelings in the long run. So if you find that your son is envious of his brother or sister for some reason, he bullies them, pinches them, and uses harsh words with them, takes their candies or their toys, and then it usually means that he needs more of your attention, and you should not close your eyes to these activities of the child. You must explain to him that he is growing big and his little brother needs more attention than him. You must tell him that when he was a small kid, he too required and received more attention. Instead of trying to stop his behavior by yelling at him or getting angry, help him to understand that he was also that age once, and he needed more attention in a similar way. You can tell them that he's a baby, smaller, he needs attentions. And siblings, the other little children, are his own brothers and sisters, so they love him more than everybody. And as parents, you must explain to the child who displays jealousy or envy that Allah has given him to such lovely brothers and sisters for, which he must be thankful and grateful. And jealousy, So jealousy, it's kind of like a feeling like any other emotion that often occurs not only in family but other relationships as well, at work, at school, and even friendship. And when we give our friendship to someone, we also give them an important place in our lives. And the friendship is based on an idea of sharing, exchange, and satisfaction, and it also places us in the situation of necessity with the other person. So, jealousy can take different forms. We're not jealous without a reason. Whether we admit it or not, the reason behind our jealousy is often well known to us. It's often well known to us, and we can be jealous of a situation, for example, or be jealous of another friend who threatens our friendship. So once we recognize and become aware that there is some jealousy growing, we need to figure out ways to stop that jealousy, and how to overcome it and channel it properly. So whether we feel it or suffer it, jealousy can soon become oppressive if it gets out of hand. And it is a normal feeling, but must be channeled and controlled for the future of a friendship and for the well-being of each person. And you need to channel it and handle it properly, and for the your well-being of your friendship. And because jealousy can be a source of conflict and lead to bitterness, so it can even in certain cases be downright destructive, and especially if it is transformed into unhealthy possessiveness, or the opposite, deep hate. And this is why jealousy must be expressed in a positive and constructive way, so that it allows us to progress and improve. Our holy first Imam Ali alayhi salam said, "An envious person never gets contentment and happiness." This means that as long as we continue to be jealous and continue to be envious of someone or something, we will never truly be happy inside. No matter what we try, we will, in our life, our focus, our attention will always go back to that thing we are jealous of or envious of. So first thing, before anything, we need to try and clear our minds from all types of jealousy and all types of envies. And we should learn to be happy for others when we see they're doing better in something. We should thank Allah for blessing us with such wonderful people around us who are so smart and so blessed. We should learn to be happy in others' happiness. So, save yourself from jealousy, because the deeds of a jealous person do not reach even up to the sixth heaven. And Allah and His Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam are not happy with such a person. He's disappointed in both the worlds, in this world because of jealousy, and in the next world because of punishment. So, we have so many examples of jealousy in our history with our prophets and imams and how they were hurt by others. So to know the bad result of jealousy, it is enough to say that Shaitan was dishonored because of jealousy. Or how about the brothers of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, who faced insult and dishonor because of jealousy. And jealousy can, terribly affect and harm a person's life if it is, something that grows, because it takes our focus away from some things and directs all of your attention towards being jealous of others, and this causes us to get distracted from our main goals and ambitions in life. And when instead of focusing on how well we are doing in school and how our grades are, if we are jealous of a classmate, we will spend all our time just thinking thoughts like, oh look, another test, another A, I wish I could have done that good, how come I didn't get those kind of results? Well, this is exactly why, because you're spending more time being jealous and concentrating on other people's issues, when in fact you could be using that time to improve yourself and increase your grades and results. And instead of spending 2 hours a day being jealous over how your classmate got a higher grade than you, how about if you spend those 2 hours working on figuring out the questions you got wrong and studying a little bit more about them? And I'm sure if we all try to implement this attitude, we would all be in a much better place. In fact, the world would be a different and better place. So, let's say you recognize it and are aware of your problem of jealousy. Now what? So that, jealousy does not overcome us, it must be honestly analyzed. Putting a finger on the problem allows us to react to it. Rather than envy your friend's fabulous grade, why not use this energy to study harder and get better grades suited to your goals? Whatever the object, jealousy should always be thought of as a motor that gives us the energy that we lack to take control of things and change what we don't like about ourselves and our lives. And so now I'll give you guys 5 tips or steps to avoid jealousy. 1, work on your self-esteem. It's easier to become jealous of people around you if you aren't happy with yourself. Accept and work on your flaws, love and enhance your good points. Don't automatically think you're ugly or unlucky. Train your mind to think positive thoughts about yourself and your life. And if you're really unhappy about something, or about yourself, do something. If you hate the way you're really bad at sports, like you're bad at soccer, start training yourself to be more coordinated and fit. And start training yourself to play soccer, go to school, you take soccer classes, spend your free time working out and doing different exercises and build your strength. If you get upset about the way you're too nervous to do public speeches, start practicing in front of your friends, your cousins, your family, and take up a course. And you might think that they're trying to make you jealous, but they're not. 2, work out if there's something special or specific you want. Maybe you're only jealous because your best friend has the exact handbag or hijab you've always wanted. Maybe you're jealous because your best friend is in the best soccer team, or if you find something that could be the root of your jealousy, do something about it. Decide whether to do something like get the same or similar handbag or hijab, or work on your soccer skills, or just let go and forget about it. 3, write down a list of the things you have. A lot of people honestly don't realize how much they have. You could be miserable and think you have nothing because your friend's mom gets her everything she wants, while forgetting to be grateful about the fact that your family is more loving than theirs. There'll always be something. Start at the basics. You have a roof over your head. Go from there. Think about the poor children in different parts of the world today, in Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, Pakistan, who are suffering, who don't have a home, let alone proper food or water to drink. And these are just the basic necessities of life that you already have, and you're just being jealous for the things that, are really not that necessary. 4, you should talk. Sometimes just talking to the person who you are jealous of, whether she is your friend or not, can really solve the issue. Chat to them about how you feel and the way you think it may be affecting your friendship. You may be surprised to find them confessing that they're jealous about something you have too. 5, nothing worked out. So if nothing worked out and you're still jealous, just think about what you have done to be her best friend. If you came all this way through all the bad and good times and you just forget about everything when you get jealous, just think what you have done to come, just think what you've done to come this far. And nothing in the world is more important than being a great best friend to someone you love and care about. Nothing should stop you because everyone in the world is pretty. No one in the world is ugly. In friendship, prettiness or ugliness doesn't really matter because the truth is they love you and you love them too. So if your friendship, or best friend hangs out with someone you might hate and tries to make you jealous, don't worry when they're together. Say it, at school. Just try the best to ignore her because that right there isn't a true friend. People should not have to go through that, and I know it's going to hurt, but maybe it was meant for a reason, and it just has to happen during life. That's how we find out who's going to be there for us and who's not. And if you really thought that was your best friend, think again, because if she was, why would she do that to you in the first place? Why would she try to make you jealous? So those are a few steps I had to avoid jealousy, but obviously there are many more that you can come up with and follow. I also have some tips to keep your mind off of jealousy. So you should always try to focus on the things that you have rather than focusing on the things that you don't. Just like I said before, focus on your grades rather than other people's issues. Remember that your best friend doesn't have everything. It may seem like they have it all, but there'll always be something that you have and they don't. You'll just have to think hard to find it, and always remember that you are beautiful and special in your own way. Everyone's unique, everyone's special. Another thing is you need to be positive. Live life, enjoy what you have. Try to develop a habit. For example, every time you have a jealous, negative thought about your best friend, do 5 push-ups. Or, every time you think a positive thought, reward yourself with your favorite candy. Obviously, these are just some, things you can do to reward yourself or punish yourself. You can do many other things that, for example, do anything you would prefer. You can also, when you realize something that they have but you don't, look away and think about something else, or talk to another friend to get it off your mind. Talking about it and how you do and how you feel is the best thing to do. Your friend might be feeling the same way about you. Alright guys, that was our program for today. I hope you all learned a few points and tips on how jealousy and how to overcome it. Remember, nothing is impossible. Even the word impossible spells I'm possible. And I hope this episode on jealousy was beneficial for you. If you or a friend if they're going through this right now, try to share and discuss some of these points with them and help them get through this tough time. It's no fun to be jealous and worrying about other people all the time. There are many other important things we should be spending our time doing instead of hurting others over these petty issues, like studying for your test. So next time your friend is feeling something similar to what we talked about today, think of the steps to overcome them, and inshallah, you'll be just fine. Always remember, when in doubt, this is how Allah or His Ahlul Bayt would want us to react to a situation. Is this how they would like us to behave? How would they behave in a similar situation? Always remember, Allah is with us everywhere and is our most near and best friend. Whenever you are feeling jealous or upset, always turn to Allah and discuss your problems with Him through your prayers and your du'as. It will always help you feel better and guaranteed. Again, thanks for joining us on today's Kids View. I had a wonderful time with you all. Till next time, take care of you and yourselves, your family and your friends, and make sure not be jealous. I hope to see you again next week, same time, same place, with your friend Nadia Sabzwari. Khuda Hafiz.